from DMM. So I'm just going to be explaining EU's price action, Euro USD's price action for last week, and how we could have gotten in. So I was just going through my trading view FYP today, and I saw this graph, this chart, and immediately I saw it, I saw that it was something that I need to talk about. And so this is where we begin. So if we can see the price action from here, we can see that Euro USD has been bullish, all of this, bullish from here. So you see the high's been taken and all of that. And one thing we can see from here is that when price got here, it's made a break, it's broke, made a new high, and then the high was weak because there was a sell immediately after the high, and then you saw that this one could not take the high, so price took out that low responsible for it, and at the same time price came for this one because it was not a real high from the beginning, so price took it out. So after that we had price come to this level. There was sellers were trying to sell so heavily, but buyers were really interested in buying, and they kept buying because somebody was here, or some people were here that were buying and buying and buying, and immediately they were able to buy. You can see that it was a very heavy buy, and so they bought. And from here we had some rejection, some supply. So people were still trying to sell from this level. We are trying to sell from this level, and so it was quite difficult for them, but still buyers were interested, and they kept on going, not once, not twice, not three times, about 6 times. They almost got down, they almost took them out, but they were able to find support on this place. So they came there and then they bought, and then they were still being rejected, and then we can see that around here they were able to find the support they needed, and they were able to blow through. So now you see that there was a sweep here. There was a sweep here when it happened. So the sweep happened, and then we had a liquidity sweep. So the sweep of that low, and then from there we had this one tap into it, and then from there we had this happen. So we have this one, we created this one there. And then from there, using the range theory, we can see that we now have a range, a very useful range. And the range is from here to here. So this now becomes our discount, and this becomes our premium. So you can see that when we got to premium, price sold down to this level, into this breaker block. So there was a breaker block here, price sold down into that breaker block. And then from there, it's made a new high. So there was some stop-ons here, and it made a new high. But one thing we should note is that this particular low was weak. Why do I say that it was weak? Because you see all of these lows were made without any, it didn't even touch the real zone, because there was another block that was here. The other block that was here that it could have touched if we actually want to make a sustainable high. So it didn't touch into the real demand. It just touched into the peripheral demand, which was the breaker block that was here. So the real demand is in this area, which is the breaker block, and it didn't touch it. It didn't touch it as it should. So we have that one there. So you can see very obviously that price did not touch it. So it went there and made a new high and all of that. And then we can see that when it got there, it failed to take out this high. And so there was several rejection because sellers were selling heavily from there, and they sold and sold and sold. This one tapped into it. creating a kind of inducement, and then it came down, and the price came and swept it into the real supply, and then from there it sold and sold again, and then this one retraced, pulled back and retested it, and so it came down. You could find an entry somewhere around there. You could find an entry here, and then from there, it comes down again, test this supply, because there was a full rejection, and after the full rejection, price came there to retest it, and then it sold into the order block. Hmm? So you could sell here and you could buy here. In fact, you could place your buy here, because why? We have a very good narrative. Sellers were so interested in buying that they tried and tried and tried until they broke through. So we now have this low of the range. We have this low of the range as our focus. And so you could buy, because why? We are also in discount. So you could buy, place your buy here, your limit order here, and then you could get ready to buy, to go and take out these highs that are here. Okay? Because this is the current high that we have here. This is the high, the highest high that we have here. So you could go there and take out that high. And so you place your buy here, and then you go take out that high. And so whatever happens after, we will talk about that one later. So then that is on 4 hour. So looking at that, if you said you wanted to take your entry on lower time frame, then yeah, you could be able to find your entry on lower time frame. You could go to 30 minutes. Go to 30 minutes, and then you will see this. You see that price was having challenges with this one, because there was big time supply here. And so this one tapped, this it didn't even fully tap into it. So it was more like behaving like an inducement. So it was unmitigated supply here. And so price came here, came down, went here, tapped into this one, and from there sold into this area. And then from that we begin to see stop ons happening, and then it swept this low, and from that this one, it went up, and then this one came, tapped into it. This one too moved up from there, and then another stop on, and then here. So you begin to have an idea that we are bullish already. So you could pick this zone if you wanted to. If you are an aggressive trader, you pick this zone. Even as a conservative trader, you can pick this zone, pick it as your entry, and then you move up from there. All of this, you see the rejection that happened there, and then you see this candle that moved up from there. So you could pick another zone here on lower time frame, maybe like 15 minutes. You pick another zone around there, pick another zone around there, and then you place a limit order there. So from there, price goes up and taps into this level, it mitigates the supply here. And from there, you see this one move up here and sweep this high into that particular supply that was there. But you already know that we are very bullish, looking at all of the attempts by sellers to deter the buyers from buying, and yet they still kept on going. So you just put your entry there, and so you know that your limit order is here, and from there your entry is picked, and then you keep on going, or probably just target this area if you wanted to be like, if you are risk averse. So you could pick this eye as your TP, or pick this. In fact, pick this eye, because this eye has already been mitigated. So you could pick this eye as your TP, or pick this eye as your TP, or even just go for all the trend line liquidity that we have here. All of this trend line liquidity here that we have. You could say you want to pick all of this, then you just target this area as your TP. So you have this. You pick this as your TP, and you are out. So that's it, and see you guys in more videos. So just keep subscribed and keep following. Thank you.